Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, and the USO. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frame. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So looking at the charts a little bit closer, I got a couple new lines in here. We still have the pivot high. We still have this. I added that trend line in here. It's a little bit steep, but it's going to show a little bit of support, especially when it comes into gap fill, the gap window here, if it does fall. If you're bullish, you needed to stay above these 50 and the 20 MA, which it did not today. It came right back down, reversed, closed below the 20. This is back to a weak stance again. When it closed up here, slightly bullish, but I want to see it close above this pivot high and possibly recapture the gap fill up here, hit this trend line. Never did. Reversed right down. Again, 2 days of a news-driven market, news-driven. Pop it up, and guess who comes in? More distribution. Do you think the distributors are distributing at the lows, or do you think they distribute at the highs? At the highs, guys. They're not distributing down here. They're waiting for the push up, like it all, buy the dip mentality. And one day it's not going to work. But again, we're in an inside bar. Bam, sideways. Now it's starting to break down again. Let's see if we can recapture it up. Maybe we go 400 up on Monday, 300 down on Tuesday, 700 up on Wednesday, 800 down on Thursday, and maybe they tank it another 1,000 on Friday. Wouldn't that be a fun one? Because that's pretty much what we're getting. We're making a top here, guys. Irrational stuff's going on right now, and this is what's happened when tops are being made. Like this. I mean, come on. Straight up for 7, 8 days. This was just flat out ridiculous. Anyways, let's not talk about that one. So we're trying to figure out what's going on now. Again, weak stance below the MAs. Let's see if we can close down in here, get to the 618, 750, and ultimately back to double bottom. Let's see if we can go a little bit lower. If you're bullish, you want to get above the all-time highs around the 219.60 area. If you can't make it above that, then we're still in this inside bar. And they still couldn't even close it above this high right here. Came right back in today. Inside bar, bearish pattern, holding the 20 MA. Let's see what we get going into next week. Monthly chart, same thing. Came up, never closed above this candle. Slowly fading here. But with the Fed news on Wednesday, they were able to pop it up and keep this thing going. IWM. This chart will come up. Come on, I had some problems earlier today. Come on. Oh, gosh. Sorry, guys. So on the IWM, we're back to 124.81. They did close it above this pivot of 125.47. Well, look what they did. Came right back in, almost an engulfing reversal candle at the high pivot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, 7 days up or so. Time to pull back, guys. Still in a bullish stance. But look at this. I mean, this is just a crappy push up or a fade up. They try to gap it up, boom, comes right back in. They try to go again, boom, comes right back in. This is just classic distribution on the IWM or Russell 2000. And another thing, we're not at the highs. Until we fill this gap and get to the high and start leading up, no way. I mean, look at this move from 94, we're at 124, and from February to middle of September. That's just ridiculous. It's a little bit of pullbacks and then straight back up. Just irrational markets, guys. And now that we're at the top here, or at this, well, no, we're not even at the pivot. At this pivot top here, I'll show you on the weekly a little bit better. But again, we reversed. Let's see if we could close above this high next week on a daily confirmation. Well, actually, right now we can't. So let's see if we come back down, fill the gap, get below the MAs, then I think we can continue down lower. If it recaptures this high, recaptures this green candle, then I think we could possibly pop higher. So it's a 50-50 shot. I did like the reversal today, but look at the weekly as well, guys. Big inside bar, comes up into it, tries to test it, tries to get above it on the weekly. Boom, gets into this 125.71 area, rejected, closes within the inside bar. Let's see what happens next week. This is a weekly, so we got to wait until next Friday. But if this thing can stay inside this bar and chop around, I think it's setting up to possibly go lower. Monthly chart, still need another week and a half or so, but we're into this trend line. Let's see if we can continue going up, get above there. I'd love it to see 126.77. If it doesn't get there and doesn't get above this big upsloping trend line, then I think we're going to reverse and start heading down. But this the 250, oh gosh, I'm tired, guys. The 250 held it up and pushed back onto the highs. And today we're 89 cents down, so they pulled it down as well. But yesterday's close was pretty good on the daily, but it just couldn't hold. Neither can my charts. Nice reversal. Let's keep an eye on this. Let's wait for pattern. If it does go sideways for the next 6, 7, 8, 9 days, then it's consolidating to possibly move up. Got to keep an eye on that one. Let's go to the Qs. The Qs down 76 cents. Nothing big. Down 6.64%, 0.64%. So not, whatever. Just pretty much a pause day. Nothing special. But what caught my attention here, remember the 1886 area we were talking about for weeks after that pivot. If it gets above that and confirms, it could possibly go higher. Got above it, never confirmed. Great reversal. I mean, it was only down 76 cents today, but wow, they couldn't even gap it up and then pop it through. We did not, did we fill the gap today? Probably just missed it. That's what stocks were doing today. We're just missing gaps to where you just, let's see. Ooh, look at that, 115, by a penny it missed it. I don't know, I would have to actually measure that out. But almost by a penny, that's where it bounced, coming around. So this is a bearish pattern down in here too. So let's see if we continue on down next week. Weekly chart, got above the high, didn't close, so it's not, you can't confirm next week. I want to see a close above and then a close above the high. Then I'm thinking maybe with the light volume, the markets can push higher. That's the weekly, so we're going to know on the weekly close. The monthly, I want to see a close above this wick, the all-time high, which was 118.86. We made a new high here, but I want to see a close first above that. Let's go back to the weekly for a sec. Again, look at that. Popped it above, came back in. I want to see it close above this area again, the 118.86, and confirm. Right now, got to get above it. And then the following day we can confirm as well. But let's see if we could get some more follow through to the downside, for I am short in the Qs. so a little more bearish. Let's see the DIA. The DIA was down $1.24 or 6.8%. It looks like all the way across the board they were all around 55% to 6.71% down. So pretty much the same showing for everything. But again, the Dow, just pretty much like the spider, got right into this big inside bar candle, popped to the 50 MA, trend line up on top, rejected, nice follow through, actually filled the gap, went a little bit lower, and we got below the 20 MA again. We had a little nice doji sign telling us that there could be a possible reversal, and that's what we got today. So let's see if we could sell off, coming to, that's not a trend line, so let's draw a new one in there. Let's see if we can get back down into this area here and crash through it, come through back to this 382, then I think we could possibly go lower. I still think we're going into the 200 MA in here. Then there's a couple gaps down in here to fill as well, but we hit the 200 MA, then we'll address it and see where this thing could possibly go. The weekly chart, same thing, nice reversal, 618, came right back in, still inside this bar, still thinking a bearish pattern, possibly more downside to come, and we're going to have to wait to see how this one sets up. Week or a monthly chart, same thing. We drew that line. I want to see it close below this pivot, which is right around the 182.37. Gosh, it closed about 4 cents above, 5 cents above that today. So next week or whenever this thing closes, a week or a half or whatever, that's going to be a big one for the DIA or the Dow Jones. Let's go to the IYT. The IYT, very, very, very light volume today. Nothing special. A little bit weak. It was down 43 cents, 0.30. But again, this one came up, and what a heck of a reversal. Engulfed this candle, closed below it, filled the gap. Did bounce a little bit because we do have the 382 retrace. But again, if you're bullish on this one, you want to get above the 145.67 area. If you're bearish, you want to continue down, get below the MAs, and then I think this one can go down. Again, like I've been saying in my videos, everything's going to be a market trade, so you got to keep an eye on the SPY and the IWM and stuff like that. I want to put this little trend line in here too. So you got some support down here. We'll see. We'll get more of the pieces of the puzzle next week on this daily. So if this thing goes sideways and stays up here in a bearish or a bullish manner, then we could possibly pop higher. Weekly chart, let's see that bearish or the bullish pattern. Look at that, still intact. So as long as this one's going, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks. 10 weeks consolidating. This thing needs to start moving up soon. If it does not, it's going to head down, period. Monthly chart, right on top of the 20 MA. Still a bullish pattern here, still inside these bars coming up, so it's about a 50-50 shot on the monthly. We still have about a week or so until this thing closes. I think it might close next Friday or something. I gotta look, but I'll look over the weekend and maybe make a couple more videos, guys. And right now, you know, it's not bad, it's not terrible. We are above the moving averages, so technically it's strong, but man, this chopping around, not doing anything. Now you have an inside bar, comes around, retraces up, right to the 750. I think we got more selling to go. So, but if you're short this one and we start getting around the 146, 147 area, then if you have a half position or a smaller position, start adding more up into there. Again, IYT, another indicator that just a lagging indicator, but slightly bullish on the bigger time frame, but we'll see how it plays out. USO is down 3.23%. They've been trying to bounce this thing around, and it's the oil rally, it's this rally, it's the oil rally, it's the Fed rally. Again, look at that, right back in the resistance. They pop it above that on a gap up, comes right back in. Did it fill the gap today? Barely, almost filled the gap, got a little bit of a bounce, but we're back below the MAs again. Gosh, I didn't even see this. Again, I was trying out eSignal Pro today, see if I like that one, and it's okay. I love Realtick. This is my charting platform, so I think I'll end up keeping this. But I want to see what's going on with these charts lagging. Getting different internet connection on Tuesday at my shop where I trade, and we'll see what happens. But again, we're below the moving averages. Now they're curling in the price on the weekly. We're setting up in somewhat of a bullish pattern, but now we broke. If this thing would have stayed up a little bit higher, I don't like the fact that we closed below this green bar and we're kind of trending down and holding on to the $10 level. So let's see if we can consolidate sideways and possibly set up to make the next move down. Monthly chart. This monthly chart still thinks really ugly, and I still throw this number out, 646. Remember that. I've been making this video for about a month and a half, 2 months. 646. This 911 area breaks. It's easily going to go down to $8, possibly lower. But if it really starts to tank, that's the number we're looking at, maybe 750 or 650 area. But again, real early to tell, still holding up, and let's see what happens with these. All right, guys, thanks for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Hopefully someone's learning something out there. That's all I can ask. God bless. Have a great weekend. See you on the charts.